Hi everyone, I'm Sam from Electric Bikes Brisbane, and I'm very pleased to be able to walk you through the brand new Riese Muller Delite4. Now this is a tried and tested model with the Delite, but this new model is the Smart System model and features a new frame which accommodates the big 750 watt-hour battery, and also some of the excellent features which come through having the Smart System. So if you're familiar with the Delite, you'll know that there's a multitude of choices that you can make with it. In this particular case, we have the GT Touring version, so that is with the Dior 11-speed link glide system, and this has been equipped with the GX package, which turns it into an off-road package, and also with the Fox suspension upgrade. It's a bike which is very, very versatile. It's kind of like, it's one of these bikes that you get if you want to do a little bit of everything in absolute comfort. But what is amazing about these bikes is how beautifully they ride and how agile they are. So athletic riders love riding them as well, because you can do some things on this whole platform which you just don't expect to be able to do, because it's primarily it's a touring bike. So one of the other things you'll notice about the Delite is its new colour scheme. So Riese Muller have moved it to what the more classic Super Delite colour scheme. So this is the Tundra Grey. It's actually a little bit lighter in tone than the original Tundra Grey, and there's also the Urban Grey version as well. Thinking about some of the things which are coming through from a Bosch Smart System perspective, this is a 750 watt-hour battery, and we're also going to be able to attach a second battery to this with the Bosch PowerMore extension, so another 250 watts. So this bike can quite quickly turn from a 750 watt-hour capacity bike into a 1000 watt-hour capacity bike. So let's look at what we've got configured on the bike at the moment, and I'll talk about some of the other options with the Delite platform. It's a 27.5-inch wheel, and it rolls on, in this case, because it's the GX, the Schwalbe or Johnny Watts tyres, and these are big 2.4 wide tyres, so plenty of cushioning there already, and in addition to the dual suspension package which comes with it being a Delite. If you don't want to go down the off-road route, it comes as standard with the Schwalbe Supermoto X, which is also a very, very wide urban-oriented tyre, but just having that wide tread allows you to do a bit of gravel as well. So if you don't want the knobblies and you still want to be able to do sort of light rail trail and forest trails, the Supermoto X's will do just fine as well. In this case, it's expecting a rider to be quite adventurous. You might end up in some places where you're going to need that the capacity of or the capability of these off-road tyres to help get yourself out and to give you traction, cornering, stopping downhill, having a bit of fun on single track as well if you want to. So because it's a Fox upgrade and a GX upgrade, the bike has moved from a standard 100mm dual suspension to 140mm. Big change there, a lot more suspension, so again expecting you to be doing rougher, more adventurous riding. This is equipped with the Fox 34 forks. If you don't want the Fox upgrade, you move to the Suntour Mobi 34 forks. So one of the nice things about having the air shocks is that you can tune these as well. You might be a rider who is going to be carrying a bit of extra weight on your bike. You might want to put a bit more air in. Alternatively, you might want a little bit more rebound. So again, tunability there depending on what you're riding. So the bike is fully equipped, which means it comes with all the extras such as your lighting, your mudguards, your kickstand and your rear rack, and we'll cover those as we go through the bike. So thinking about the platform of the bike and the fact that it's now a Bosch Smart System, it looks a little bit differently in the cockpit because you've gone to the Smart System controls. As a standard, this bike comes with a Purion 200 display and still with the Riese Muller cockpit, which means you've got the adjustable stem here, so you can adjust it for depending on sort of whether you like to ride quite sportily or sit up a little bit taller. This particular bike has been configured with the Kiox 300 cockpit, and you've also got the option for the new Kiox 500 now as well. It's almost like the Nion display. As a GT Touring version, this runs on a derailleur gearing system, and in this case it's Dior XT. This has link glide. I tell you what, it runs beautifully. It's so smooth. In combination with the suspension, it's almost like riding on a cloud when you ride this bike. And of course, if you're opting for the touring package, it is a sportier system. It also allows you to climb those really extreme climbs and a little bit more efficient on the battery usage as well. Being a German-made bike is no surprise, it's gone for German-made brakes as well, and this has got the Magura MT4 and MT5 brakes on it. So really strong brakes, great quality brakes. And while we're in this cockpit as well, a really nice feature of the Delite4, and it's the same as the previous model. You've got these strong Supernova M99 lights, big light, but you've also got high and low beam as well, which is nice. Similarly, with your rear tail light, you've got a braking light. If you're a rider who likes to sit up a lot, quite tall, and you're looking sort of more for comfort than for the sporting position, you do have an option in the Riese Muller configuration where you can customise this with what they call the comfort kit. It's at no extra charge. It just means you get more curved handlebars, which allows you to sit up a little bit taller. This particular one, it has the standard bars on it, which allows you to have that more sporty ride position if you want to. Okay, so moving down the bike, being a dual suspension, this is where they've mounted the rear suspension. You've got 3 positions with this. If you are preferring to sort of lock it out and have that sportier ride, particularly for climbing, for example, you might want to lock out that suspension. But you've got a middle range suspension and you've got a very, very plush setting as well. So three settings there, depending on what you're doing. And this bike is also able to be charged on the bike, and Riese Muller changed the positioning of the charge port and actually changed the charge port cover as well. So it's quite a sturdy charge port cover now. If you needed to take the battery out of the bike, you can do that as well. And your keys are provided. That's the job of those keys. It's a key-to-like system, and it's also keyed with the ABUS Bordeaux lock, which comes with the bike. Okay, so I mentioned it was a GX upgrade. One of the big benefits of going with the GX upgrade is you get a dropper seat post. It's a fantastic feature, I think, for urban riding as well as off-road riding. Because you've gone for an off-road package, it changes the saddle as well to a sportier saddle, which Riese Muller are assuming that you're going to be moving around a lot more on your seat because you're tackling sort of more technical terrain. Look, a really nice feature and something which is unusual with a dual suspension bike is to be able to get a rear carry rack, and this is a co-sprung rack designed especially for the bike. What this rack allows you to do is to carry luggage, and this is actually an EBike system, so it gives you access into a host of accessories as well, which plug and play and work really well with that rack. If you're not going to go down the EBike route with your accessories, it also works really well with other standard brands of panniers and baskets too. So one thing we don't see on this bike, and it's because we've gone with a GX upgrade, is ABS braking, and that is something that's new for the Riese Muller Delite4 this year. The ABS brakes are not compatible with the long travel suspension. So if you were to opt for the non-GX version or the standard versions, you have the option of speccing it with ABS braking if you would like to as well. Very smart feature, thanks to Bosch and Magura. We've walked through the GT Touring version. There is also a GT Vario version. If you're familiar with the Riese Muller range, is an Enviolo and belt drive drivetrain version. There is also a Rollhoff version coming this year as well. Wasn't previously compatible with Bosch Smart System, but they've managed to make it work now, and I'm glad to say we have some Delite4 GT Rollhoffs on their way to us. So overall, this is a beautiful bike. It's been a bike that has evolved over the years. I think we saw our first one maybe about 6 years ago. It's always been the go-to if you're looking for a very, very comfortable, very capable, kind of do everything bike. It's a little bit special. It's just so comfortable. It's so agile. It instills confidence when you ride. And it's just, that touch of class when you're riding it. You really do feel quite special when you're riding it as well. This is our very first Delite4. I'm pleased to say we've got plenty more coming, and you're very welcome to come and have a look or test ride. Head to our website. You can book a test ride directly through our webpage. Otherwise, give us a call or send us a text message and we'll be very happy to help you.